change the country.
To the nationwide legalization of gay marriage.
When something isn't working, we can and will change.
To Cuba, to the dialogue of race relations.
Not being polite to say in public.
The president has not had any issues putting himself front and center. One day he's been lobbying for trade.
And after the worst economic crisis in our lifetimes.
While on another, he is making his viewpoint quite clear as a controversy continues to swirl around Bill Cosby.
If you give a woman, or a man for that matter, without his or her knowledge, a drug, and then have sex with that person without consent, that's rape.
If the exit strategy for past presidents is to simply ride it out, President Obama, in the eyes of many, is anything but a lame duck. He is putting together, arguably, the finest stretch of his presidency.
You're seeing a stronger, much more emboldened president.
Basil Smikle is the executive director of the New York State Democratic Party.
I think he's a lot more skillful at navigating the political consequences of that kind of language. And I think he's actually undaunted by those consequences as well.
The growing curve for a president tends to be steep. But for some, like political analyst Dan Gerstein, the president is showing that he has finally grown into the position and excelled at it.
I think he's leaving with the wind at his back right now. And I think people are looking at him in a slightly different way.
And much of that, according to Smikle, comes as a result of the racial incidents that have developed over the past year.
I think both as a human being and as an African American, a lot of what's happened in this country over the last year or 2 years has, I think, compelled him to speak.
And because of the incidents that have challenged the nation, the president at times has been thrusted into a role of higher moral authority.
Amazing grace.
But Gerstein adds, it is also the president beginning to show more of his true personality.
In the second half of a second-term presidency, presidents get liberated. They know they're not running for re-election. There's no midterm to worry about. This is the home stretch. And to some degree, they can be much more themselves.
Well, there's no doubt that the pressure's off on him, but at the same time, there's a couple of other factors here that lends themselves towards President Obama's success, according to Smikle and Gerstein. And number one, the fact that the economy has improved dramatically since what we saw back in January of 2009. And additionally, the Republican strategy of constantly blocking or running interference against his initiatives is pretty much playing like a broken record, according to them.
Sure. Well, Dan sums it up, though. It feels like pressure's kind of off. I can be myself, not worried about re-election, and it all makes sense.
Yeah, that is probably the best position to be in when you're any politician.
Too bad you don't do that at the very beginning, right? A whole different track record.
But the whole point is they always remember you how you end, not how you begin.
Very good point, and very true indeed. Mario, thank you.
All right, thanks, Dan.